I'm going to start this video. This is part 2 of the 5 components of the Woodford Tax, but I'm in a little bit of a, I don't know, I'm in a bit of a funny mood. So I'm going to start this this video with a puzzle that I'm going to then quickly answer. You're not going to have time to figure out the answer to the puzzle that I pose. So there was this movie making fun of fascist Italy by Pasolini called Salo. And there's this famous scene where all the fascists are sitting around a table eating human feces. So, like, what do you learn from watching that scene? Well, you learn the way to fill your stomach with shit is to eat shit. Okay? So what question does that raise? What puzzle does that? Well, not puzzle. Yeah, I guess it is a puzzle. Is how do you fill your head with shit? And the answer, well, you study economics. That's how you fill your fucking head with shit. So anyway, that's the kind of mood I'm in right now. Okay, so as I ended the last video, the second component is trillions of dollars for curtailing carbon emissions. Now, I've been working actually. So if you consider the Woodford Tax is actually an amalgamation of these 5 components, I've actually been working on this for like 15 years. I mean, and the key, and there were other solutions where I thought I had gotten to the solution, and one of them was so like I used to be like best friends with Manuel Derman. He's kind of like, he used to work with Fisher Black, and he was the founder of the Columbia Financial Engineering Program. So like Derman and I would eat dinner like once a week, and I mean we hung out all the time. We talk on the phone like every day. So so Derman used to worry that I wasn't doing enough stuff. So he was like, so he said, well, what do you want to do? So I was like, okay, well, I have some ideas, but like, let me think about it. So like I had to think about it for like, so I was thinking like, what is the perfect job? So, you know, like most people, I mean, talk about like Woodford likes to talk about cognitive mechanisms and economic behavior. Like I've sat in that class like 3 times. Maybe, yeah, I think 3 times. I got a lot of funny stories about that class. Actually, once Mike, like the 3rd time I sat in on it, Mikey said, why do you want to keep sitting in on this stuff? Like, you know it all already. So I was like, well, that's a big assumption right there. I mean, there's like, that class, I think this is going to be a 3-part video, because I'm like just in the mood to like freestyle. So Mikey goes, why do you want to keep sitting in on this class all the time? I mean, you know it all. And I'm like, I doubt it. I mean, there's like so much material in that class. Like, I just can't even believe it. It's like 27 sets of lecture slides. And this is an undergrad class, by the way. There is a grad version, which might be easier than the undergrad version. But it's like 27 sets of lecture slides that are like 35 slides. Then there's like 14 books assigned as reading. I mean, you don't have to read it all. I mean, if you just like master all the slides, you'll get like an A+ in that class, which is not a trivial accomplishment. Oh, by the way, so the class usually starts out in an auditorium, and there's like 85. It starts out with 85 Columbia students, but then like by week 4 or week 3, it's down to like 15 people. So, and these are like really, I mean, the 15 who remain they're very smart kids, believe me. So then, where did I just leave off? Oh yeah, so there's like 14 books, some of them like 400 pages long. And then there's like 140 academic papers. And then like Mike also, on the syllabus is like 8 pages. And then Mikey, like this is like the first time I took this class. I'd never seen this before. He's constantly revising the syllabus. So you have to like keep checking the new version of the syllabus to see like where everything is. Like you have to be like ultra on top of this thing. Like it just freaked me out the first time I sat in on this class. So wait, where was this going? Oh yeah. So anyway, Derman would say like, "What do you want to do with your life?" Oh, so I said, okay. So what's the perfect job? So this is, by the way, we're talking about the third component of the Woodford Tax, which is the global not-for-profit. So this is a really rambling video. I apologize about that, but that's just kind of the mood I'm in right now. So you get what you pay for. At least I'm not trying to explain to you how the labor supply curve is monotonically upward sloping. So that you'd have to pay $80,000 a year for. So I go, okay, well, what would be the perfect job? Let's think about that. So you break it down. Like, what are the features of the perfect job? Well, number one is like you're doing something you love to do. Feature 2 is you can't get fired. Feature 3 is you're answerable to no one. Feature 4 is it pays extremely well. So like, I think there was a 5th feature, but I can't remember. So those are the features. So then if you raise that question, you say, well, is there a job like that? You're answerable to no one, pays well. So then it was like, yeah, the answer is yeah. And what is it? Is like, so a bunch of rich guys, you come up with some not-for-profit idea, and a bunch of rich guys endow your not-for-profit with like $20 million. And you just use the returns. Like, you just have to not be a screw-up and like put the endowment money in like Madoff or something like that. Like that schmuck, what was his name? Alicia Wiesel at Goldman, like took all these Jewish charity funds and stuck them in Madoff. I mean, the guy's just like a fucking idiot. So, so that was the perfect job. This is going to end up like a 5-slide series. So then I came up with that answer. So then Derman, I mean, the guy is just, he can be annoying. So he goes, well, why would a bunch of rich guys give you the funds to do that? Like, I know a bunch of rich guys. Like, I don't know any group of these guys that would give you money to do that. So I'm like, oh yeah, okay. So why would you? So like that took me like, I spent like a year and a half thinking about that. And then I came up with this idea, like, well, it could be a lootable not-for-profit. So what's a lootable not-for-profit? A lootable not-for-profit, I'm not going to go into what a lootable not-for-profit. So one time I was walking down the sidewalk and I was Mike knew I was like working on, like trying to think about all this crap based on first principles. And I had sent him an email describing lootable not-for-profits, and which are legitimate not-for-profits, but they just have this feature at the end when the guy running the not-for-profit's about to croak. Maybe I'll do an interlude video describing lootable not-for-profits. So I sent Mike this like long email describing how a lootable not-for-profit would work and how it's completely ethical. It would be a completely ethical if the not-for-profit was legitimate. And So then, like, one time I'm walking down the sidewalk and Mike's walking the other way, and he goes, "You can't call them that." All right. Well, that was video 2. I hope you were entertained.